Welcome everybody. We have our second quarterfinal match coming up here. Last week we had an awesome match. We had a big game by Mitch Davies, 357 to Len Ansas, 338, 6 frames to 4. Pretty cool match. Very little mistakes. Yeah, it was awesome.
Fun to watch.
Yeah.
This week, hopefully we'll have another exciting match coming to us. Ryan O'Callaghan, who is our 7th place seed, beating out Mark Miller in the first round, is taking on our 2nd place seed, Tyler Tytgat from Edmonton.
Yeah, Tyler's first match as he's a seeded bowler, so interesting to see how this one goes.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good game, and good luck to both the players.
Good luck.
Tyler's ready to go here.
Tyler's also the 4th bowler to be on the men's team that won the national championship this year with Tim and his brother Brad and Adam Weber. So
yeah, so a lot of those guys are playing here. Makes sense.
So Tyler's definitely the youngest one in our field.
Yes.
Today.
Yeah, Tyler, this is his 4th straight appearance.
Oh,
a couple of those have.
Yeah.
Is it the new bands?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they put the old ones back on.
Oh, did
We,
they?
we hope. But
Yeah. Yeah, when he let that go, I thought that was going to be automatic.
I think he did too.
Yeah.
Yeah. His reaction at the foul line seemed like he thought that was going to go. Gets
Dead,
the spare.
dead center.
didn't give me a chance to see his percentage.
It's
90.
high. It's
Yeah.
high.
He's got the 2nd highest.
He's got the highest percentage of middle hits in our field. 92% of the time he's hitting the middle. 58% of those are strikes. He's got great spare percentage on his corner pins.
Oh, and then we got the exact same hit right back on the other lane.
Yeah.
Sorry, Katie, you were on a roll there.
Oh, that's okay.
An eye for an eye there.
An eye for an eye.
Arr.
See if O'Callaghan can spare his.
All over it.
There we go.
Yeah, because his rights
We're
it's
higher.
right. 83, yeah.
Yeah. I have to say, when I'm playing, though, that first corner pin spare kind of just sets the tone for my match.
Right.
If I miss that first one, I can just feel
The rage building up? Or?
the rage, the dejection. But, like, when you get it, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a good game.
Yeah, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
That's a decent start.
Yeah.
There,
Oh,
you got a
yeah.
good action
Squeeze.
there.
Yeah, really good action. Just maybe a little bit more fingers on the ball because
Lots
that
of
ball had
fingers.
great rotation and those pins never stood a chance.
Let's
So.
see that one again. Okay, Tyler is, I'm just looking over some other stats here. He's our skins game leader overall in the history of the
46 and a half frames he's won.
Yeah.
So
He's got a simple little 3-step, nice, easy, soft first step, and then he drives into that slide, right? And it's such solid balance.
when I was rattling off Tyler's stats, the chop spare is the downfall of his game usually.
yeah.
So he usually only spares 67% of those. So
but that's
Yeah, it is a bit.
that's 2 out of 3. That's pretty
That
good.
is-
That's for chops, right?
I
For
guess
sure.
if you think about it like that. Yeah.
when you think of it that way, but when you compare
Yeah.
it to his 90% on corners,
Yeah, well, you're hitting one pin on a corner, right? So, yeah.
True.
And he doesn't, he hits the middle at 90%, so he should be able to hit a corner, which is 1 pin at 90%.
you would think.
You would think, yeah.
We'll have to get technical there.
Yeah. Sorry. Always Mr. Serious. There we go.
See, that pushed.
Yeah,
it
it did.
almost was the same hit.
Yeah.
Well, he's early 2-0 lead for Ryan. No. I would think Tyler would be one of the. Well, he's a 2nd seed, so obviously he's one of the favorites here.
Yeah.
for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
As you can see, though, like keep the spares rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pinfall's going to come into play.
So Tyler will take this frame.
One thing I've noticed too, and which is not as typical, it's all really close. Like there's no 7-3s or 8-2s.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'd said
We've had-
because
Yeah.
the bowlers are so good that it's tough to gain a long advantage over somebody, right?
We've only had the one match, Mark Miller and Ryan O'Callaghan's first match. That came down to a 5-5 split where pinfall came into play. Everything else has been a 6-4.
Right. And you would think with what Mitch just threw, shooting, what, 357?
Yeah.
That he might have won by more of an advantage, but no, even that was close in the end.
Yeah.
Almost got the corner out of there. The 3-pin was wiggling, wanted to go down.
It's much nicer when that falls over.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Remember that 67 turns up to 80 or 90?
Yeah, that's right.
Oops. Exactly.
A little bit of a misstep there.
Yeah, that was unfortunately on the left side of that all the way.
Yeah.
Didn't stand much of a chance there. A little more solid at the foul line as he let that one go. And these bowlers know too. I mean, chop off's not an easy shot, but it's not real difficult. But it's an advantage that you can't let get away because you got to keep your foot down all the time in a one-game match, especially against a good bowler.
Yeah. Nice.
So
Not sure what he did there.
Yeah,
just something a little off. Sparrow in the frame.
might have come out a little bit more between the thumb and the forefinger rather than off through the ends of the other fingers, right? And just pushes a little bit right. Oh, you got it.
Gets the squeeze for the spare.
And the frame.
2-2.
So Tyler got a finishing second, a $350 bonus, and a bye.
Bye into the second.
And was he at every tournament? Did he qualify in every tournament? I think he did.
Hold that up here.
So Tyler, oh no, he didn't. Calgary.
He missed in the Autumn Open.
Yeah. I actually remember that too because he wasn't too invested at that time with school or jobs or whatever
Right.
else. And I remember him struggling, and then he went in and started working on his game again, and then he had started playing well.
See, and that's a really good point too for kids that are coming out of the YBC and they're at that 18, 19, 20-year-old mark and they're going into post-secondary, and all of a sudden
It's a tough
bowling
transition.
doesn't all of a sudden become the #1 thing on your list, right?
Yeah.
So to play at a high caliber while he's still going to school, right?
Yeah. I couldn't do it. I had to take time off when I was going to
Is that right? Yeah.
I did the opposite. I just bowled and didn't go to
And
school.
didn't go to school, yeah.
I'm dittos
Or
with you.
I was
Mark.
enrolled in school. I
Yeah.
just didn't partake too much.
Right. I tried to make it work of balancing school and working and playing competitively, and I ended up, it didn't work.
A shot by Ryan
by
there.
Ryan.
Yep.
Takes a 3-2 lead. This one's going to go down higher again.
I think so. This is another match where we have really different resumes. Tyler being really young, Ryan being one of the older half of our field,
Right.
and Tyler's resume being so extensive with his youth career and even success as an adult career compared to Ryan, who's, like we said, relatively new again. He doesn't have all of the same accolades, so
I think for him, I don't know him. The last few years I've got to know him pretty good, but
Right.
prior to that I don't know him too well, but he had kids and stuff.
yeah.
And
He
I
has a
think
couple 20-year-olds. And
Yeah, now it's like, now I can play, and now I can get into it and
Right.
take
His
it
kids are
seriously.
grown.
And just like school, just like post-secondary, that's a huge factor, right? it costs money to, get out and play these,
Yeah,
right?
you're putting the money into your kids' sports and your kids doing
especially
things.
a gentleman like Ryan, they're coming from Thompson, Manitoba, right?
Yeah, you're saying dance is expensive.
Yeah,
Dance
it is.
Do not.
Don't put your kids in dance.
I had a daughter
capital letters.
I had a daughter that danced and a son that played goal in hockey, and it was the same expense. All that goal equipment, but dance was the same expense.
Yeah, you said dance and hockey.
Yeah, there we go, yeah.
Tyler knows that was a little bit lucky. He had the bounce shot.
Yeah.
We've had a few guys doing some
Had
bouncers.
a few
Yeah,
bounces.
yeah.
He kind of had the little chuckle as he turned around on that one.
Maybe just trying a little too hard to be perfect with it, right? And you got to trust it. And like I said, you got to be a little bit aggressive. And
I know when I bounce it, I'm probably like my hands are sweating a little
Yeah,
bit, and
yeah.
I dropped it a little bit.
But sometimes that bounce shot's just so good.
well, I know we got two great bowlers who are noted for their bounce shots. They're Greg Giglick and Bruce Mortar.
Yeah.
When they bounced it, you had no chance.
was a missile.
They were bombs. That was a great shot by Tyler.
Tyler's starting to get that intensity on the lane a little bit.
A little bit. He doesn't get anywhere near as tense as his brother, but it does come out of him.
It does, yeah.
come out of him.
And that double, he let it known.
Ooh, he got that.
Oh, that he really got that out, yeah.
Great shot.
It held the line. You had to get the curlers out there to sweep that one.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it didn't spend a lot of time on the lane, so it didn't have as much time to move on him, right? But that's a great response. And scores really close. Tight match. The way it should be.
Oh, and a punch on that carryover frame.
Everybody's missing their punching, right?
Yep.
There's not a lot of like spares.
No. It's like strikes or punches. It's the name of the game today.
And that's the chance you got to take, is you got to hit it.
You got
right?
it.
It's a good carry.
Just got to keep pinning.
And it's just that little difference of like how many fingers you have on the ball, or just if you get it out that extra inch. Just those little things seem to be
Well,
make or break right
and
now.
you make a great point. You're throwing from that distance, and you're off by an inch.
Yeah.
Right, and it's a bomb for a strike, or it's a head pin.
Right.
And it's like, come on, that's not fair.
I used to go in the back.
So well.
I used to go in the back and like watch
Yep.
the pin reactions
Yep.
and then look at the person.
Right.
Sometimes they're like, oh my God, I should have been a strike. But you're watching it and it's like, oh no, it hit like weird. And
Yeah.
so if you're right down there, a lot of the times it's
You
true.
can see something different than what we see back here.
Yeah.
Ooh, and a
Oh.
matching punch, but carries the corner.
So it makes the cleanup a little easier. A little bit of total too.
Yeah, first ball here now on this head pin. Cleanup is really important.
It's on a carry.
Dead center.
We could have it.
Yeah, you're right about watching somebody's face, though, because they know how the ball comes. We can sit and look at them and say, hey, that looks pretty good, but they know that they didn't finish it, it didn't come out of their fingers right, and it's lacking stuff or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So they know.
Okay, next frame winner
Next frame
wins.
is, yeah, this is it for all the marbles.
The pressure is on
The
now.
pressure is on now.
Instant pot. Pressure's built up. It's ready to blow.
199, 180. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
That's called a no-doubter.
Yeah, he knew.
Right, Ryan, you just keep throwing strikes. That's all you can do.
He
right.
snapped that ball right past his foot. He was really aggressive through the lower part of a stroke. And sometimes he lacks that, and that's sometimes when he starts punching, but there was no doubt on that. Was a beauty. That was gentle.
Oh.
That was gentle. He didn't finish that.
Tentative. It's like in golf when you see guys that are really tentative, they're always short on their putts.
Yeah.
So they're just not aggressive enough, right?
Yeah.
Same
And that's
concept.
exactly what it was, yeah.
Every sport has a trust factor, right? He was way more aggressive on that. And not necessarily with his foot speed or anything, but just his follow through, just his arm coming through to his release point.
But man, Ryan, I've been quite impressed with him.
Super impressed.
The way he played this year has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
You work hard at it, you'll get results. And he's a prime example of that.
Well, and he's one of our ones that made the cut every tournament that he went to, right?
He got points in every tournament, but I think if you see 3 points, he probably didn't make the cut.
So
Top 50 get points.
No, that's ours.
Regina Classic.
Regina.
The top 50 get points because we want more people to get points.
Okay.
So if you have a 3, it's probably like 42nd or something like that.
So 3 out of 4 is not bad.
Yeah.
3 out of 4 is not bad.
Isn't there a song about that? 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Meatloaf?
Or
I think it's 2 out of 3.
Or me, Meathead.
Yeah.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah. So unfortunately, that's going to be it for Ryan.
And Mark did the old might have a 7-3 here, depending on if Tyler punches. Oh,
There we go. So that's our first one. That's
7-3.
And it didn't happen until 9-10.
Yeah.
Right. So it wasn't a runaway by any match.
No, it was close right down to the wire.
Well,
The 9th frame.
Like you said, congratulations to Ryan coming all the way out from Thompson and proving himself. He's a great shooter, and he certainly looked good out there. He can go back to Thompson feeling quite proud.
Yeah, next match will be a good one too.
Carrie and Adam.
Yeah. Congratulations to Tyler Tytgat, 272 and 7 frames, to Ryan O'Callahan's 215 and 3 frames.
Okay, and here we are with Ryan O'Callahan, unfortunately the loser of that match, number 2, second round. As we're talking here, you got to keep your head up high. I mean, that's an outstanding season you had to make it to tour finals, consistent all year long, win your first match here, and then you get to play a guy like Tyler Tytgat. Unfortunately, a loss, but sum it up for words for me.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with the year, happy that I got to play here with the best guys out here on tour, and I'll be back next year.
Yeah, you certainly will. Now tell us a little bit about this match. Obviously, first frame carryover.
Yeah.
Second frame, the strike, you win it. So you got 2 in the bag.
Yeah.
You win another one in the 5th. Now you're up 3-2.
Yeah.
Then you have the 2 frame carryover.
Yeah.
That sort of ends up deciding the match for both of you guys. And
Yeah.
obviously, then in the ninth frame, you miss spare. Tyler strikes, gets that there.
Yeah.
Any thoughts there about that shot?
Threw a bad ball. Just I don't know. Knew I needed to throw a good one, and I didn't. It happens from time to time. Just pitched it out a little bit, and that's how the story goes. Tyler's a great player, so he's.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you put the pressure on, and Tyler, I mean, he certainly didn't run away with it. We haven't seen any runaways yet today, so like I said, you got to hold up your head high.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Great season by Ryan O'Callahan. Gives a lot of hope to a lot of players out there because you're a guy, and with all due respect, not somebody who's been on the tour list for 10 years now.
Yeah.
You're new to the list. You worked hard. You grinded. You came from a rural area of Manitoba. Played a lot of events. This is an outstanding year for you by all accounts.
Appreciate it, Bill.
Good job, Ryan.
Appreciate it.
We'll
Thanks.
see you around, all right?
Thanks.
Okay, good job. Well, Tyler, here we are. Fairly familiar position. Tour finals. You had to buy the first round. You're into the second round. You win that match against Ryan O'Callahan. Tell us what you're feeling right now.
Yeah, I feel good. Always nervous that first match. You kind of just, the goal is always to win the first match of the day. Don't go out in the first one. Wasn't the start I exactly wanted, but I like those carryovers. It's where I feel comfortable. So once we had 1 or 2 of those, I knew I was in a good spot.
Yeah, was there a point of nervousness? I mean, obviously Ryan wins the first 2 frames. You get the next 2 frames. He wins the third. So then you're sort of in that middle of the match. He's got the lead, but then of course, like you said, a couple of strikes come in. Is that just a veteran move now of yourself? Call yourself a veteran because you've been doing this for a long time. Even though you're still young, you're a pretty elite bowler. Is that the idea? Is this, you know what? I'll have my chance. Just keep throwing the shots, keep throwing the strikes. What are you thinking there?
Yeah, that's definitely the secondary thought. Obviously, my first thought is always get out fast. Win the first few frames is a lot easier that way. But I think as we've seen over the weeks with these episodes, even if you win those first 3-4 frames, it's not guaranteed, right? So I knew there was lots of game left. I knew as long as I kept putting out quality shots that he would have to match them. And I caught him when he didn't. So.
Yeah. And how was the energy level in that game? You saw a couple of emotional sort of, fist pumps and emotions. Is that something we're likely going to start to see a little bit more of going forward?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have emotions when I bowl. I do try to keep them level. I'm not going to say at a minimum. I show my emotions, but I don't want to get too high or too low, really. So big shots, you'll see it. That's about it, yeah.
Well, good for you. We've seen you here before. You're moving into the semifinal, so we'll chat with you before that match. Good job, Tyler.
All right, another exciting quarterfinal match. Kind of came down to the 9th frame. Just pretty much the two to the series so far.
Yeah, and this was our first one that was a 7-3 split.
Yeah, most of the other ones 4-6, 1-5-5.
Next week, we have an exciting match between our 3rd place seed, Carrie Kreitz, who is playing Adam Weber, our 8th place seed, who beat John Mowens in the first round.
Yeah, this one should be exciting. 2 fireballers, both throw really hard, throw lots of strikes.
Both dream crushers in the pro league, so teammates coming down on the lanes against each other. It'll be interesting to see which one can take the match.
Yeah, we've been talking. There's been a few of those teammates have had to play each other today, so.
Yeah, I think this one could be a highly anticipated one. Both have extensive resumes, so.
Yeah, they both played last night in the Gallagher Cup too, so it was a close match and really good scores. So.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yep, sounds good.